Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Jonathan Hecht, and I'm the Dean of the Cincinnati campus. Welcome to Ordination 2021. We are delighted that you are here. For those of you who are joining us on live stream, a special welcome. For those of you who are in the tent, please, we ask that, except for when we come up here to read, that we'll ask all of you to please keep your masks on while you are in the tent. The program book and the supplement were placed on your seats. I know you found them already, along with a cicada swatter. Thank you, Ross, for that great idea. Thankfully, today, we're not going to need them for cicadas. They are for you to take home, but one other instruction, please. Do not use them on each other. Joining us today are President Andrew Rayfeld, Provost Rabbi Dr. Andrea Weiss, Governor Gary Greenberg, Associate Dean Rabbi Julie Schwartz, Director of the Pine School, Rabbi Richard Saracen, Director of Liturgical Arts, Cantor Yvonne Shore, and from Wise Temple in Cincinnati, Rabbi Karen Tomashow. Our accompanist is Claire Lee. To my dear, soon-to-become colleagues, in the Talmud, Tractate Bava Metzia, we find the law of the found object. Elu mitziot, shelo ve'elu mitziot, chayav lahachariz. Found objects, mitziot, cannot simply be kept according to Jewish law. Under most conditions, chayav lahachariz, the finder of the lost object, must announce what has been found so it may be restored. My new colleagues, on your rabbinic journey, you will encounter those who are seeking something that perhaps they have lost. Some will be seeking faith, comfort, and hope. Others will be hungry for knowledge, identity, or friendship. What all of these people that you will encounter on your rabbinic journeys have in common is that they will be seekers. Your sacred task, my friends, is this: chayav lahachriz. Announce what you have found in your journey into the study of Torah. Do not be bashful. Do not hold back. Restore their lost objects, their faith. Give them hope. Fix this world. We are incredibly proud of the leaders, scholars, and teachers you have become, and are so looking forward to seeing how you will shape the future of our people and our world. Dr. Rayfeld, it is my pleasure to invite you to address our Cincinnati ordinands.
Dean Hecht, thank you for that introduction. And Shabbat Shalom and good afternoon, everyone. What a magnificent day this truly is after such a difficult and terrible, traumatic year. A day on which you, our students, are ordained as Klei Kodesh, holy vessels, in service to God and the Jewish people. The social and legal power that you will gain as rabbi in just a few moments is formally conferred to you by the authority of our faculty, our Board of Governors, here represented by Secretary and Governor Gary Greenberg, and in my role as president of HUC. But the power of this moment is conveyed through the ritual performed by our provost, Rabbi Andrea Weiss, marking the symbolic moment when the change in your status occurs. The social power that you will obtain as clergy in just a moment comes from how others will come to see you as you leave here today, simply because you carry with you that title, Rabbi. They will see you as a teacher. They will see you as an individual dedicated to serving others. They will see you as a person of God. And through this social power, you will be able to bring comfort to those who are suffering, joy to those who are celebrating, wisdom to those seeking understanding, and beauty to those you will elevate through prayer and ritual. And you will use that social power to strengthen the Jewish people and to bring justice and righteousness to our entire world. I can only imagine the truly wonderful things you will do in the years and decades ahead by deploying that social power for good. As you embark on this path, I sort of wish we could do what Moses did when he was preparing his next big thing, to conquer the land of Canaan. I say I sort of wish we could send 12 scouts into the future and bring back a report of what we will find. And I say sort of because, of course, those 12 scouts came back with a rather gloomy report. They demonstrated that the people were not yet ready to go forth. By contrast, the one thing that I know is that you are ready to go forth as rabbis. For you have formed as clergy during one of the most challenging periods in HUC's history, in our world's history. It's demonstrating remarkable fortitude and resilience that will allow you to meet any challenge ahead with great success. But having mentioned the scouts, perhaps we can still draw two important insights that you might take with you into the future from this very moment to guide you in your new roles. The first comes from the fact that Moses deployed 12 scouts rather than only 2 or 3, the number that Joshua would later deploy before he led the people actually into the land, and the smaller number, far better for a clandestine operation. By involving 1 scout from each tribe, Moses created a representative group that reflected the true diversity of our people. And in doing so, he may have wanted to give himself credibility for whatever decision he made. And just think about that for a moment. Why did Moses need to establish his own credibility? He had already freed our people from slavery. He had already provided for us in the desert. He had already delivered the law straight from the mouth of God. What more would he need to do to gain our people's credibility and confidence? And that's the point, that maybe, perhaps, Moses recognized that while the people had faith in him for his leadership, they did not yet have confidence, the trust in him that he needed for them to conquer the land. And so you might draw upon that insight as you go forth from here. After all, we had faith in you when you first began and when you were first admitted to HUC, but our confidence that you would be successful as rabbis took many years of your hard work. So have some patience with your communities as you enter them, for they too all have great faith in your abilities, even as the confidence that you will need will take more time to develop. And it will develop as you do what you did here at HUC. Face the challenges in front of you with courage, with wisdom, and with determination. The social power to do this work comes from how others project onto you their expectations of who you are and what it means to be a rabbi. And they will have an expectation that you comport to the highest level of ethical conduct dictated by our Jewish tradition. So the second insight from the story of the scouts is the importance of following externally imposed rules, especially at times when you feel that your views justify making an exception. Now think about what Moses did again at this moment. This man of great privilege was finally on the verge of achieving political glory, the political glory that comes from establishing a territorially sovereign people. It was a moment that should have been the crowning achievement of his life. Had he only acted in his interest of pursuing glory, he might have suppressed the scouts' negative report, might have made sure it had never seen the light of day by having them present it to him privately and suppressing any bad news. But that's not how Moses structured the report of his scouts. Though there's some disagreement about this among our commentators, Moses chose transparency instead, making sure that the scouts delivered their report in the presence of the entire community. That transparency allowed their fears to spread like wildfire among the people, but it also constrained Moses' passion as well, his self-interest in achieving political glory. It forced him to recognize that we, our people, the Israelites, were not ready to conquer the land. Transparency is just one of the many practices and rules that constrain power, much as the Constitution establishes rules under which we all live in the United States. Other rules can be quite mundane, like installing windows in your office doors, or not using an institution's credit card for a personal purchase, even when you intend to pay it back and you just forgot your cash or your own credit card at home. For it's when we believe that even these small rules don't apply to us, it's when we believe that our good intent can overcome self-interest, it's when we believe that our emotions and our passions are the source and determinant of what is good and bad, right and wrong. It's then that those who have social power begin to abuse it. Rules are not always just, and certainly many need revision as unjust laws do, and you will work hard to change them as part of your own commitment to social justice and making our world a better place. But I still have faith that you recognize the importance of following them as a path to living a just life, because rules don't just constrain inappropriate action, they lead to the majesty and the righteousness that flows from religious life and our tradition itself. Think of what you will inspire as you go out to lead your communities, having them follow these rules or these practices, to take on the discipline of avodah, of regular prayer and regular study, to engage in the practice of giving tzedakah to the poor and bikur cholim, visiting the sick, even when you and they don't want to, honoring Shabbat and celebrating the Chagim, the holidays, even when you and they feel tired and, well, not just up to it right now. Through these self-imposed practices, we ensure, you will ensure, that our tradition becomes a part of lives well lived in service to others and our entire world. I'm no scout, but I have come to know about each of you from your teachers. And given what I know and what they tell me about you, I have not merely faith, I have confidence that your words and comportment will touch the souls of those in your care. It will bring meaning to multitudes and infuse the world with tzedek, with chesed, with binah, justice, kindness, and understanding. So go forth from here into the world knowing what the scouts would surely have reported were they here with us today, that through your work we will achieve tov v'kadosh yafe nachon v'tzadok, the good and the sacred, the beautiful, the right and the just. Mazal tov. It's now my pleasure to call up our board secretary, Gary Greenberg.
Well, it's wonderful to see our rabbinical students, soon to be rabbis, Cincinnati campus class of 2021, live and in person, three dimensions. On behalf of the Board of Governors of the Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion, it is my great privilege to congratulate all of you on your ordination. It is also my privilege, on behalf of the Board of Governors, to confirm and congratulate you on the award of your master's degrees last year. As I might all recall, we were all locked down and we could not do this in person. So we wanted to add this to the agenda for today. We, the Board of Governors, also want to thank you for the choice that you have made to dedicate yourselves to the Jewish people, and also to thank you for your perseverance that brought you to this moment. May you serve our people with wisdom, kindness and compassion, discernment and faith. I am confident that you will do so. Caminos de leche y miel. May you follow paths of milk and honey.
Shabbat Shalom. High above, in an imaginary celestial palace, the prophet Isaiah envisions God seated on a high and lofty throne, with winged creatures, seraphim, calling out to one another in a heavenly chorus, Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy is Adonai of hosts. Isaiah feels unprepared, unworthy to stand amidst the divine presence and to accept the work that awaits. So one of the seraphim approaches, gingerly carrying a glowing coal from the altar. As the coal touches Isaiah's mouth, impurities and insecurities evaporate. When God then asks, Et mi eshlach umi yelech lanu, whom shall I send and who will go for us? Isaiah resolutely replies, Hineni shalacheni. Here I am, send me. You are here today, our beloved, soon-to-be ordained rabbis, because you too said, Hineni shalacheni. On the bima of a synagogue long ago, in a classroom surrounded by inquisitive children, at the grave of a loved one, in a library piled high with books, you too declared, Here I am, send me. In this sacred space, this Ohel Moed, this tent of meeting here on our historic HUC Cincinnati campus, physical touch will prepare you for the work that awaits. The once mundane, now miraculous act of touch, the simple but sacred placement of my hands on the side of your head, will be the final step as you take your place in the storied line of transmission. Moshe kibel Torah misinai umesara leoshua. Moses received Torah at Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua, and Joshua to the elders, and the elders to the prophets, and the prophets to the sages of the great assembly. And now, thousands of years later, with smichat yadayim, with the laying on of hands, we pass on our cherished legacy. In your hands, strong and capable, we place Torah. With all the obligations and expectations incumbent on those who now dedicate your lives to Avodat HaKodesh, to the sacred work of serving God and the Jewish people with integrity and authenticity, with reverence and humility. Now, more than ever, people need you to recite prayers and sing melodies that can bind wounds and heal the souls of the Shvurei Lev, the brokenhearted. to teach and preach words that can guide people out of Gay Salmavet, the deep, dark valley in which we find ourselves. To inspire people to do justice and act with loving kindness, asot mishpat ve'avat chesed, to speak truth, dabru emet, and to bring about peace and well-being for all. Ve'ha'amet ve'hashalom ahavu. As you now prepare to stand before this holy ark, ready now to pledge yourself to preserve the age-old covenant between God and the Jewish people, our hearts are filled with gratitude. Dear students, almost rabbis, breathe in the love you feel from those surrounding you, from those watching from afar, from those you keep alive through your most precious memories. Families, teachers, mentors, classmates, friends, we all thank God for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for bringing us to this day, as I ordain you now, rabbis in Israel.
Rabbi Weiss, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for ordination. Jason Samuel Cook, Yosef Shmuel ben Mordechai Yehuda, Vitzvia Gila.
It is my privilege to say for the first time, Mazel Tov, Rabbi Cook.
Libby Louise Fisher, Leah Chaya bat Yaakov Vihudit.
I am honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Fisher.
Deborah Samantha Novak Goldberg, Devorah Shoshana, Bat Raphael Vizelda Ruth.
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Goldberg.
William Paxton Hall, Jr., Yaakov Netanyal Ben Yehudit Viviliam.
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Hall.
Jonathan Lee Jackson, Yonatan Ben Moshe Halevi.
It's my honor to say Mazel Tov to you, Rabbi Jackson.
Ross Zadok Levy, Raphael Tzadok ben Raphael ve'Esther Rachel,
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Levy.
Zoe Mira McCoon, Mira Zohar bat Dina Vijan.
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi McCoon.
Shmuel Polin, Shmuel ben Zangvil v'Yael.
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Polin.
Taylor A. Pozlowski. Chava Chana bat Risa Cyril Vishmuel.
It's my honor to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Pozlowski.
Samantha Francis Shalvani. Yaakova Michal bat Leah.
It is my honor to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Shalvani.
Annalisa Grimes Stryer. Eli Sheva Chana bat Avraham Vasara.
I'm honored to say Mazel Tov, Rabbi Stryer.
Yair Walton, Yair ben Greg Vigini.
Mazel Tov, Rabbi Walton.
True to Hebrew Union College tradition, we gave you a lot more reading than you probably had time to do. But let me point out that in the booklet that we gave you with many, many pages, there's also a supplement. On the first page of that supplement is a blessing that our class is about to recite. There's also a page of memorial remembrances, a page of gratitude, and blessings that our faculty are wishing for our graduates. And now we're going to ask our class to rise for the class blessing.
We come to this moment overflowing with gratitude. The sages teach, even in the Messianic age, when all offerings are abolished, we will still be required to bring the Thanksgiving offering. We offer our gratitude to all the teachers, mentors, classmates, and loved ones who have helped us reach this moment. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. We have immersed ourselves in the deep ocean that is Judaism. And yet, there is always room for new and creative forms of Jewish expression. The sea is never full, but continuously being created and shaped by our communities. We come to this moment full of joy and trepidation. We are in awe of the task at hand. And who knows, maybe we are arriving here at this moment and this position because our voices are needed. We offer this prayer, our first as rabbis, to one another. May we always lead with love. May we retain a firm belief in our values, but also an openness to keep growing. May we continue to support each other as colleagues and friends so that we know we are never alone. May we always remember the immense privilege and responsibility of being a Rav B'Yisrael. As we come to the end of one journey, we stand at the beginning of another. In the words of Hillel, Zil Gamor, now we will go and learn. Now we will go and lead.
To the families, the friends, colleagues, esteemed guests gathered right here, and the live stream community who is equally part of this sacred occasion, let us speak together and offer words of the blessing for pivotal moments in our lives upon our newest ordinees. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign of the universe, who has impressed life upon our very beings, sustained our strivings and maintained those strivings, that we arrived at this very moment. V'nomar, Amen.
Makor HaChaim, source of life, we thank you for the gift of Shabbat, the physical, spiritual, and virtual presence of family and friends, the blessing of teachers and students, and the addition of these clay kodesh, holy vessels of your Torah. We also show our gratitude to you for the wisdom embedded in the titles of this week's double portion that says Behar Bechukotai and means when strung together, on the mountain with my laws. Moses experienced transcendence and spirituality and deep holiness on that mountain. But even when he climbed it and experienced whatever it is that he experienced, he had your laws, meaning he had responsibility and obligation. May your disciples, these clay kodesh, no matter what position of authority they find themselves in, or how transcendent are their experiences of spiritual leadership, may these holy vessels of your Torah never lose sight of their sacred responsibility and moral obligation. Finally, we show our gratitude to you for the brilliance embedded in this day's Haftarah, wherein your prophet Jeremiah teaches, "Blessed is the one who trusts in God, for they shall be like a tree planted by the waters, that spreads out its roots by the river. It does not worry in a year of drought, nor cease bearing its fruit." May your disciples remember that they have already seen a year of drought, metaphorically speaking, and even during that year they have borne cornucopias of fruit, because that is who they are, and that is what they are capable of, and that is what is possible when undoubtedly drought will appear in all of our futures. But we will have them at our helm, and through their faith, we will not fear. Makor habracha, source of blessing, with gratitude to you for reaching this moment, I invoke this blessing directly upon your disciples. Bruchim atem bavoachem, uvruchim atem b'tzeitchem. Blessed were you when you entered HUC JIR and embarked upon a journey whose ambition was to become a rabbi amongst the people of Israel. Blessed may you now be as you exit your formal rabbinic training and embark upon your years of service to God, the Jewish community, and all of humanity. And let us say, Amen, and Mazel Tov.
Friends, we're about to have the Psalm 150 played, and we're going to have the recessional. So we do need to clear the center aisle, please. And we're going to ask that we will have everyone rise. You will meet these new rabbis, the rabbis you've come to be with here today and to celebrate with. You'll meet them out on the lawn, and there will be opportunities for photos. Mazel tov to all of you and all of the families who are here and friends who are here. Mazel tov to you, our ordinands, and mazel tov to the Jewish people.